believe that you're feeling fine. Shake my body, moon under a bad sign. With a blue moon in your eyes, so sing it now. Wake up this morning, got yourself a gun. Got yourself a gun. Got yourself a gun.
Greetings, everyone, and welcome to what I really, really hope ends up being the 88th edition of Cinema Effect. If my math is right, I think it is. I think it's the 88th. I'm Zac, and I'm joined by Big Pussy, a.k.a. Fitzy, a.k.a. Liam.
Hello. What are you?
Right.
You're like,
Don't make me Ralphie.
Ralphie. That's perfect, dude.
Oh,
Ralphie.
I said don't do that.
Little
No.
pussy. You can be little pussy.
Is there a little pussy in the show? There is, right?
Isn't there a big pussy, little pussy? Yeah.
Because he has a kid.
I think so.
I think you're right. I forgot about that.
No,
but I
it's
think
not.
that's true.
It's not a kid thing. It's like,
Oh.
isn't it in the show they get confused about like two different pussies?
That sounds like
it's
such
like
a
a whole
Sopranos
subplot.
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it really does. I don't recall that at all, but you're probably right. Yeah, that's probably happened. But this is the first time that it's just us, no Jaden here this week. We'll miss him, but
Since
since
Casino Royale.
episode 2, yeah, like whoa, that's
Our best episode. Yeah.
exactly.
The
This is
3-hour
gonna.
long discussion.
It was that was the unedited version, but God, this is going to be even better, Fitzy. Let me tell you, this is going to be a great episode. Because, ladies and gentlemen, this is Cinema Effect, the podcast where we review and talk about a different movie every single Monday. And this week, that movie is The Many Saints of Newark, which opened in the US on the 1st of October, 2021. It was directed by Alan Taylor. It was written by, which I think is important just throughout the context of this review, by David Chase and Lawrence Connor, or Kona probably, who both are lead writers. David Chase, of course, the creator of The Sopranos. Lawrence Connor are sort of part of the writing staff as well. So everyone here involved knows the show very well. It is a crime drama, and the synopsis says, witness the making of Tony Soprano, the story that reveals the humanity behind Tony's struggles and the influence his family, especially his uncle Dickie, had over him becoming the most iconic mob boss of all time. That is not accurate at all. That is not remotely accurate to this movie. No, it really isn't. I was talking about this with you the other day. This movie's been in the making a long time. We finally have our long-awaited Sopranos prequel movie. We've actually seen it, and we haven't talked about it. And Liam, I'm just dying to know what you thought of it.
I thought it was a mixed bag. I thought it was okay. The main story with Richie, I thought was pretty good. Like it was Sopranos-esque, and just I don't know the way his anger issues led to everything and stuff. And so I thought the main thing with him and his girlfriend and everything is pretty good. Everything with Tony or like other characters is kind of weird, not the best, but yeah, it was okay. I think.
Yeah, I think we're pretty similar. I think it might sound like you like it a bit more than me.
Oh, okay.
Like, I think it's amusing is the word I would use. It's I was engaged as a Sopranos fan. I was like looking out for cool stuff, and I thought a lot of it was neat. And I guess in that way, it felt like junk food for Sopranos fans, if that makes sense. It's a fun watch it's a fun watch for bad fan service, which is entertaining in itself, in my opinion.
There was a lot of fan servicey lines, yeah, for sure.
We'll get into them. So there's a lot of that, and that carries a lot of the weight. But I don't know if it's a very good movie, which is a shame. Not for lack of things happening, like I wasn't bored by this movie, but it just sort of left me like, all right, that could have been something else, but it was that. So
it was kind of forgettable, I guess.
I want to know if you felt this way. I think let's just get right at the heart of it. I don't know. Like this movie for me included so many bizarre writing choices, which were really questionable and felt not like David Chase's style on the show at all, which is bizarre because he wrote this movie. So it's not like you can't point the finger and go, oh, I don't know about that guy, mate. He wasn't involved in the show, like This was the crew. In terms of how inauthentic to the moment it can feel at times. Should we preface this by saying like we're going to spoil The Sopranos? I feel like we sort of like how much do you feel spoiling The Sopranos will impact is important to us talking about things in the movie? I don't.
Yeah, we could go into it a bit. I guess it was really funny when I was talking to Jaden about this movie. I was like you can probably see it. You probably don't have to be like because it's a prequel.
Before you saw it.
Yeah, like a couple of months ago,
Yeah.
I said you could, but then the first scene is fucking hilarious, dude. That's the funniest thing in the movie, that voiceover, man.
But it's not good though, right?
No, it's not good. But it doesn't really come back, Oh, it comes back like once or twice. But dude, it's really...
It came back... Didn't it just come back the one time when there was the time jump?
Yeah, it came back like once or twice, yeah.
So weird. It was so weird. No, that's a great call. That's a great point. I actually had a similar thing where I was like, Jake hasn't seen The Sopranos, my brother, he can tag along, it'll just be a gangster movie, whatever. No, this movie spoils The Sopranos so fast. It couldn't spoil it any quicker. I'm going to have to spoil something, actually. I'll actually save it for later. I might do that. But sticking on the voiceover, which will remain sort of anonymous and vague, but if you've seen the movie, you know what it is, obviously. It's just like so unnecessary. You know what I mean? Like it just showed to me that they really don't want the film to stand on its own in any way. And I think it's just a mistake. I think it's funny that I joked. I think, was I talking to you where I joked about them doing like the whole thing where it's let me tell you a story. Let me tell you a story about, your young Uncle Tony or whatever. Like that was the joke that I made, that what if this movie's like that? And they sort of did it.
I thought you were going to say... were you talking about this movie when you talked about The Prestige and there was something like an actor?
We'll get into that too. Yes.
Because I don't know what you're talking about.
Ray Liotta, dude. Ray Liotta plays two characters.
I totally forgot. Yeah. He plays the brother or whatever. Or is he the brother? Is he imaginary? Richie's mind.
Is that a real, is that a theory? Like, is that...
That's what my dad thought he might have not been real.
Oh.
Because it's like him wrestling with his guilt, And there's that one scene where he's talking to him and then he just disappears. Probably not.
Yeah.
But...
Actually, that was weird too. I forgot about that. I feel like if that's the case, the movie didn't make it
no
clear at all.
It's really clear a bit.
Yeah. To be fair though, if that were the case, I'd prefer that, because if it's literal, I don't like it. But the way that it opens, right, that specific opening shot of the camera coming through the graveyard and you hear the voices of dead people. Just random dead people. Just Jennifer was just buried there. Like who she, I don't know. And she's just talking.
They weren't even in The Sopranos, right?
No, they're just people.
It's crazy.
That was dumb. I didn't like that at all. In terms of exploring the writing a bit more, as a gangster movie, looking at the main plot and the escalation between, the two sides. I guess if you sort of want to look at the movie as a war between the Jersey Italian family and the black gangsters as well. I don't know if you want to look at it that way. I don't know. It's nothing very inventive or interesting takes place. It's fine. The movie's well shot.
Well, I liked the main character. I liked Richie. I felt it was a bit the writing was a bit Sopranos-esque, and just him, his anger causing everything, and him dealing with guilt and everything. It seems very something they'd do with Tony in the show.
That's true.
But as a gangster film, it's not. I wouldn't even say it's a gangster film, kind of in the way that there's no violence or in that way, right?
Not really.
Two sides versus each other.
I feel like it. I hear you, but I feel like it sort of plays with this conflict enough to where I don't really know what this movie is, I guess, where it's I get what you're saying, where I don't know if I agree to an extent, but it's also then what is it? I don't know. Is the movie Liv Soprano trying to get psychiatric help, trying to get meds, That was the subplot.
Oh, yeah, I remember that. Like, there's a few funny things, like, Uncle Junior being the one to kill Richie because he laughed at him. Like, that's something that was like, that seems like something that might be in the show. Or like, the joke with the meds was like Liv, like she was looking for the meds, and then at the end, Dickie had it in his pocket because he was going to give it to her, and then she called him an addict at the funeral or whatever. So like that was a funny moment as well. There were a few things that was like, oh, that's clever,
Yeah, no, that's fair. Oh shit, I was gonna wait. What was the first bit you said?
Oh, Uncle Junior.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, that's true in terms of that feeling like a Sopranos thing. But I don't know. Like for me, maybe this is my issue, right? Like just the transition from the television to the film format. Like I just don't. It's such an unsatisfying like climax to your film. Like
Yeah, because
it
it
just
feels
comes
like
completely out of nowhere, and it's just like it feels like a joke that because you're right, he just laughed at him, and that's why he killed him. And
it feels like an episode, yeah.
Totally, it feels like
Yeah.
season 2, episode 8. It doesn't feel like the end of your film. And I just felt, I don't know, I felt nothing when Dickie got shot in the head, to be totally honest with you. Like, I was just, all right.
Yeah. I mean, I was engaged by Dickie's story, but, he's not the most, like, amazing character. But
Well, so yeah, it sounds like you were at least a bit more engaged in him than me, because, like, I like, what's his name, Alessandro? That's his name, right, the actor?
I don't know.
Yeah, Alessandro Nivola. Yeah, he's a good actor, like, nothing against him. Dickie was just, I don't know, he was fine. I just feel like there could have been a lot more done in that department, especially. I really think the crux of the film, or I don't really know what the crux of the film is, but I feel like it should be. The ending implies that the crux of the film is the relationship with Dickie and Tony and how that bond pushes Tony over the edge to become who he becomes. And that's sort of alluded in the show a lot, that Dickie, this character we never meet, was important to Tony as a child. And them telling that story makes a lot of sense. I think that's a cool story to tell. But I didn't see it. I didn't really understand why Tony likes this guy or why he admires him.
He's kind of bland, yeah. Like, there's nothing about him that you think, oh, this is why he's interested in him.
Yeah, he's not like
I mean,
particularly
other than
charming.
his father being, abusive and wanting a different father figure, but
yeah, 100%. And then, like, looking into the specifics of like their conversations in the movie, like they're just like the most I get out of their relationship, other than like I guess they're sort of buddy at the party where Johnny, the when Johnny comes home from prison, they're sort of like hanging out, like all right, cool, like he's sort of the cool uncle to him, I guess that's sort of something, but then like their relationship sort of devolves into merely Tony wants to call him so he can give him beer, and
he doesn't want to talk to him, yeah.
He doesn't want to talk to him. But but the movie's like in those scenes, like in that scene where Tony calls him and he's like clearly really upset that Dickie's pushing him away here. I just don't understand. Nothing in the movie showed me why why their bond is so important.
Yeah, I guess that is the purpose of the film, because like the final image
is really
like him, the finger lock or whatever, and then the music played. I thought when the music played, that was good. Like,
you can't go wrong. You can't go wrong. No, definitely.
Exactly. It doesn't do the relationship justice.
But in that, like, I think if the movie had to get one thing right, it had to be that, right?
Yeah, true.
Like, there's sort of nothing else this story needs to do except nail that, and it just didn't nail it. Like, I think, to you, what you're saying, like, I think the ending at the funeral by itself as a scene is good. Like, I think that being the moment Tony commits himself to become what he becomes is cool. The finger lock is cool. And like the theme kicking in, it's all cool, like just by itself when you're watching it. But it's just unearned because it's everything I'm saying. Like, I don't know. It's just, I don't buy it. I don't relate to it. I've just, I don't know. It's all just doesn't add up to me.
So that is going to crush the film. But then also like the acting for some people wasn't great. I didn't think I didn't like the young Silvio. or like
Yeah.
not young Silvio. I don't really get the ages, but they're all over the place, man.
They really are. They really are.
I do like how there's like a lot of funerals in the film because it kind of foreshadows like later seasons, like season 6 of The Sopranos, where there's like a billion funerals, and it's like depressing and shit. But like
That's totally true.
like the heart of the film is kind of lost. No, why Tony likes Richie, I guess.
Do they call him Richie in the film?
Oh, it's Dickie, I guess.
I was just making sure because obviously if your name's Dickie, your name's I guess is also Richie. Because there's a Richie in the show, right? I just don't want to.
Oh,
isn't Richie Janice's partner in the show? Is that his name? I don't know.
Oh, the psychopath one.
Yeah, that guy. Is his name Richie?
Yeah, Richie.
I guess he could have been Dickie too. I don't know. They got the same name.
Is Dickie or Richie his real name?
They call him Dickie.
Yeah.
But I guess his name's Richard, right? So.
Right.
Well, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. There's only one Richie in the movie. We know who you're talking about. I mean, like, in terms of the film foreshadowing like that, the opening again, but I do like some of the foreshadowing elements it plays with. Like there's multiple scenes. There's particularly one, like that try and critique the mob lifestyle, and it's sort of on the nose. I don't mind that stuff though, where like I think Tony's and the family are sitting around watching TV and there's like something on the TV that's like, people always want more. And then like, I think Ray Liotta says the same thing in the jail, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, like he quotes something. Oh, like wanting is the problem, he says. Like Buddhism quote.
That's right, yeah. So like those ideas, they're cool. Well, I feel like they have a place in this movie, especially when gangster movies quite often critique gangsters, believe it or not. But I thought that stuff works. The weird part, though, was that I forgot was in the movie. Do you remember that scene where Dickie is a blind baseball coach?
Oh, wow. Yeah. Was that a fantasy or was that real? I don't know.
It was... Because he was saying that he did that, right? But could he be lying?
Yeah. Well, that's the scene where the guy disappears, where he's like talking about it and then he just disappears.
It's so
the brother was in the jazz in prison.
Yeah. That was just... Every scene in the prison was weird to me. Like, it totally felt disconnected from anything else happening in the movie. I don't, like... prestige thing, like seeing Ray Liotta, like Ray Liotta dies, everyone. Oh no, he doesn't. He's just sitting here in the prison. That character, like it obviously exists to have that moral side to Dickie that we don't really see anywhere else in the movie. To have it like, oh, we sort of see he's trying. We see he's trying to reach out. He's making an effort to be a good person in some respects. Obviously his temper gets the better of him, but we see that he's making that effort, which is fine. I just sort of wish I'd seen that in other ways with other characters as opposed to just this weird offshoot stuff. It actually felt a lot like, and I wouldn't be surprised at all. It would make a lot of sense if this was the writing parallel they were going for. But it just felt like Dickie's version of Melfi. Like he needs these scenes where he has like he talks to someone about what he's feeling,
Yeah, except they're 10 times worse. But yeah.
Oh yeah, they're way worse. Don't worry. God, those Melfi scenes are so good. You already brought up some of the performances and cameos. And they're probably like, they're as a Sopranos fan, they're the thing I feel like we're meant to get the most sort of kick out of, They're all pretty spot on, like in terms of how they look, I think. Some of them are actually pretty impressive. It always took me out of the movie, like the way that the film calls them out. You notice how the film does this, where it's like, it always has to have like a line of dialogue to tell the audience who this is as a younger person.
Name.
Yeah. Like Tony's on the phone, he's like, "Shut up, Carmella." Or they're like, and I think earlier in the movie, it's like, "What are you doing, Paulie?" It's like, "Oh, okay, I get it. That's Paulie right there."
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, I don't know about this. The Silvio one felt like an impersonation.
Yeah, he didn't feel like Silvio. I don't think he looked like Silvio either.
Oh, I could sort of see the resemblance, personally. Like, I mean, actually, to be fair, how much of that was just the hair? Like.
Yeah.
Seeing where he had the wig was funny, I guess. Because he's the one of them. I mean, Junior's beyond a cameo. Junior's a character in the movie. Silvio feels more like a cameo, but he actually has lines where he has this sort of emotional scene with Dickie before he gets killed. Um,
Oh, yeah.
and in that scene, it's like that. I don't know if that was the right choice to have that character be in that scene. All credit to the actor; like he's clearly studied Stephen Van Zandt and he's trying his best to do a Silvio here, but he's like trying too hard, or it's just coming off as odd, you know.
Yeah, he was the worst performance. Yeah.
And then like, what are some of the other ones? I mean, Paulie was sort of small. Big Pussy was there quickly.
Paulie. I don't even remember who Paulie was. Was he?
He looked the part. They all looked the part. But that's sort of actually the weirdest thing to me about it is that, like, huge shout out to the casting director here, everyone who's involved in casting, because there's no, like, just watching the movie, there's no doubt in my mind that they spent hundreds of hours trying to find people that looked spot on. And congratulations, they did it. But I just don't know why. Like, it doesn't add anything to the film.
Yeah.
I guess it's just meant to be like a cool thing for us fans. I don't know. I mean, I guess I respect that.
Well, I guess it looks pretty accurate.
Like, how did you feel about Junior?
Magnuson. Oh, Junior.
I don't know.
Junior was really, really good. Like, I felt like like the weird lines I gave him were very like juniorish. He's like talking about random facts or something, and his delivery. He's kind of like off a little bit, like he's in the show. In the show, you think it's just because he's old, but maybe that's just his personality.
That's very accurate. But I'll tell you, Fitzy, he doesn't have the makings of a varsity athlete. You know what I
mean? Oh yeah. I understand.
Look, that made me laugh and shake my head at the same time. I don't really know if that's a good thing, but I reacted. So I mean, it's pretty funny.
Oh, Billy Magnuson didn't play Polly. Okay, I guess he kind of looks like him, like the eyes, like he's intense. I guess, yeah.
I don't know who this Billy Magnuson is. Is he?
He was in No Time to Die. It was.
He was the dickhead, like turncoat guy, right?
Yeah. What does turncoat mean? Like
he was the double agent for Rami Malek. Got it. Okay. Yeah, no, okay, that makes sense.
That's why I call him too, Rami Malek, because I have no idea what that guy's name is still.
In the movie, I think it's Sifan.
Oh, that's right. Yeah,
is that right?
Siphon. Yeah.
Siphon. That's way cooler than Siphon. Your Bond villain is Sifan. No, Siphon. That's way cooler. But yeah, I don't know. Sorry, out of these cameos, like Carmella is the most egregious. Where it's like, why did they?
Carmella.
Why'd they bother with Carmella?
She's only like one moment, right?
I know. So like, why did they? It was so weird to me. Like,
why even put her there? I guess.
Yeah. Why is she in the movie? Like, she doesn't need to be in the movie. You know.
Is Tony's cousin? Is Tony Blundetto? Is he there? Is he the one standing next to them?
So that guy who's like Tony's friend, I don't know who that's meant to be. It could be Steve Buscemi. I don't. Or could it be Art? I don't think it was.
Oh, yeah. It could be Art.
I feel like it has to, but with knowing this movie though, it has to be someone, because there's no way it was just a random person. Everyone is someone in the movie. So I like the junior actor a lot. I think he was good.
Oh yeah, he's a good actor.
Yeah. Was there anyone else?
I mean, we mentioned Livia, I guess.
Oh no, I didn't. No, actually, I've wanted to talk more about that.
Okay.
She was by far the best, in my opinion. Like Vera Farmiga as Liv was my favorite part of the movie. Like, Olivia Soprano's already a great character, but her performance is really, really good. She owns every scene she's in, especially
Did you
like
say Olivia Soprano.
Yeah,
Livia. It's just Livia.
It's not. Isn't that short for Olivia?
No, I think it's just Livia.
Oh, okay. They call her Liv, so I just assumed her name's Olivia. Tony's mum, everyone. She's a great character in the show, obviously. And seeing her here again was cool. Like the scene she has with every scene she has. The one she has in the high school, though, really, really good. The one she has, like when she's playing off John Bernthal, I really liked those scenes a lot. I don't know. How much did you like her on the scale of everyone else, I guess?
Yeah, she's really good. Yeah, that like scene in the high school that went on for a while, that was a good dialogue. Like her just, yeah, she hovers in the background pretty well. She like, She looks like they look like they've changed her face a bit, like they like changed her
Oh,
nose
she had
or
makeup
something.
on for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, it was pretty good. Michael, of course, was really good as Tony.
Yeah, you dug him?
Yeah, it was good. Yeah, I wasn't like emotionally connected to him or anything, but like he mirrored his dad pretty well.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. Like for me, he wasn't. I thought he was good. Like nothing bad to say about him. I think he did a much. He didn't do an impression. He was really solid.
Mm.
And I'd like to see more of him in that role though. You know, I just don't like exactly like you say. Didn't have enough to really connect to him. You know, it was sort of just like
Yeah, well, he wasn't really the main character. It was more Richie was more the main character. I thought Tony would be, but
and he arguably should have been if the ending was going to work. You know, but that's fine. You know, but his performance didn't blow me away. It wasn't like holy shit, dude. You got to see friggin'. But it didn't need to be. That's totally fine. And, you know, huge shout out to John Bernthal. I just love John Bernthal. I feel like I'm just John Bernthal's number one fanboy, you know? Like, he's just great and everything. He's got quite a small role here, actually. I didn't know he was playing Tony's dad until the movie started. So that was a cool thing to discover.
Oh, okay.
He's sort of a background character. But, I mean, he's great, so I'm always excited for that. The other one I actually didn't mention, or we forgot to mention, is like Janice looked pretty good, right?
Oh, as like a kid, as like a teenager.
Yeah.
I don't remember. Because she was only in like the funeral thing, wasn't she?
She was in a few scenes, but she wasn't.
Oh, okay.
She wasn't in a ton. Janice is also a great character. I hate her guts, but she's great too. I mean, focusing on some of the things the movie does, sort of independent of the show and the world it's in. How did you feel about the civil rights stuff in the movie? You know, that's sort of, I feel like, one of the main ideas it tries to touch on in terms of, and it's cool that those are historical events, you know, in terms of those civil rights protests and the riots in Newark in the 60s.
Well, like it's kind of like the uncle thing is really funny, but it's kind of a shame that they went there if they were also going to include this like subplot, because it kind of like, you know, lessens the seriousness of it, I guess, because now it's just less integral to the story. Like if you have him and Dickie, you know, more like something happen at the end with them, it's more, that would make that stuff more important, I guess.
Totally.
In the film.
Yeah. It goes back to, I think you're spot on. It just goes back to like, I don't know what this movie's trying to be. If it sort of wanted to really hone in on the civil rights stuff, I feel like it could have done a good job of that. But it just sort of felt like background a little bit to everything else, you know. Like even though like I think the riot scenes when they're in the movie, they're really well sort of brought to life. You know, like when the tanks are rolling through the streets and like I think that all looks really good.
Oh, right, yeah.
But I just don't really know what like again, yeah, it just sort of goes back to like what purpose does it serve in the story? I don't know. Like if it just wants to sort of raise these issues and sort of connect them to the Sopranos world, I guess that's fine. But sort of maybe I don't know, maybe a bit underutilized.
Yeah, I agree.
But that shootout scene between who was the main black gangster character? He was Harold, right? That was his name?
I can't
If I'm not
remember.
mistaken. I think it was Harold. I could be wrong. I'm just going to call him Harold. He was fine, you know, like I feel like the most intriguing developments in the Dickie and his mistress plot was sort of him sleeping with her. But I didn't really...
Oh, yeah, well, that's kind of why Dickie kills her. He's angry.
Yeah. He's an angry boy, Dickie, you know?
He's angry.
How did you feel when he killed her? Because I sort of didn't give a shit.
It just kind of happened, yeah. Just kind of, I was surprised that happened.
I mean, I'll agree with that, yeah. I mean, hang on. So, this is another question I had. Who is Christopher's mum?
Oh, wait.
I'm so confused by this.
Christopher's mom.
Yeah.
Oh, it's... Oh.
Because she's alive in the show. She doesn't die in this movie.
Oh, no, you're right. Wait, like, yeah, no, you know one thing about the film that's really dumb? the wife character of Dickie, the film didn't give two shits about it because Dickie had a wife, and then the mistress came in, and then the wife totally disappeared from the movie. Like she didn't even exist. Maybe that was Christopher's mom, which makes the mistress character, like, her existence weird.
I mean, right. So the mum that got no screen time. Thank you, by the way. News to me that Dickie had a wife. By the way, news to me. Had no idea.
I think at the dinner table when he was with his dad, Ray Liotta, and Ray Liotta was with his girlfriend, like future girlfriend.
Oh, he had
a wife there, I think.
Right.
And then he kills his dad, takes his dad's girlfriend, and then the wife totally pieces it from the movie.
She is not in the movie at all. At all. Like it's that's so true. To the point where, like, I as I'm watching the Dickie, oh my god, I don't know what mistress, I don't know her name, their relationship unfold. Dude, she looks like Christopher. So I'm like 100%.
Oh, interesting.
That's his mum. Makes perfect sense. And then she's drowned, and I'm like, what? That doesn't.
Yeah, they didn't have a baby in the movie, right? Are we forgetting that? Oh.
Well, no. Christopher was born in the movie.
Yeah.
It wasn't hers. Yeah.
Oh, really? Oh, okay.
I don't think so.
Wait.
Like, does the mistress get?
Oh, yeah, Christopher was born in the movie because the baby was at the table.
He sure was.
Yeah, but she never got pregnant though. Weird.
I don't think so. It's so bizarre. So I was convinced. Oh yeah, that's Christopher's mum. That's great. When she died, I was confused. I thought maybe it was going to be a thing where, like, oh, the Christopher's mum that appears in the show isn't actually his mum, and his mum died here. But this movie didn't make that clear. I don't think that's actually what happened.
No.
How funny did you find the movie? I think humor is a really important part of Sopranos lore. I laughed at a couple of O's, that was fun.
Oh, right. Yeah. Like, there's some things I mentioned, like just the uncle thing. Even, that's the climax. Maybe that shouldn't be, like, just a gag, but that was funny. And the pills and, like, Livia was very funny. Or, like, Vera's acting. She was very good.
That all felt very authentic. Yeah.
Like, it was pretty light, I guess. Like, it was pretty... I guess the subject matter was dark, but it felt very light because of all the references and jokes and everything,
Yeah.
Like the O's and everything, yeah.
They were great. I think the weird thing about it, I just keep coming back to this in my mind, is that where if you try and explain what The Sopranos is as a TV show, it's really difficult. Like, it's sort of everything. Like, I at the end of the day, it's a drama, right? I feel like that's hard to argue, but some people might see it more of it's a comedy, it's a dark comedy, it's a violent gangster thing. Like, the show is sort of everything, right? It's sort of a hodgepodge but it works. Yeah. It really works. I think the film struggles because it's sort of replicating that element of the show where it's like, we don't know what it is. It's sort of everything, but it just didn't work for me in a movie. And I feel like it just needed to commit to being something, whereas it's sort of not. It's sort of The Sopranos, which isn't enough in a film.
Yeah, I see what you mean. Like, the show balances tones really well, and this kind of doesn't, I guess. Or I guess the dark tone didn't even feel that dark. It just felt like the movie felt kind of bland, I guess.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you're spot on. Because the tone doesn't feel dark, but it is like it's not literally dark in terms of, like, the light, but it's like it's dark because dark things are happening.
Yeah, things that happen in dark. Yeah.
Messed up events occur, but it doesn't feel dark. It just sort of feels like when there's that scene where the dude gets, like, screwdriver in his mouth and he's, and it's just sort of like, okay, like, this is sort of any old episode of The Sopranos, like, some shit like this would happen. But it doesn't, it's not funny. It's not, like, violent, like, confronting. It's sort of just happening.
Yeah, it's not really anything. Yeah.
Because I feel like there's a version of that scene that is hilarious, but it wasn't this one.
Well, like, there are a lot of deaths in The Sopranos that are hilarious, like that.
Sure.
Guy that died in the bathtub with like, he got shot and then Wait, am I thinking of the right thing? You know that guy that died in the bathtub? He like got electrocuted or something, or he was shot while he was like in the bathtub.
I don't recall.
I
Yeah,
remember it being funny. That's what I'm trying to say.
I can think of another. I can think. I don't know. There's a funny death in the last episode. That's for sure. I mean, it comes. It's heartbreaking, but it's like what's happening is kind of goofy. I guess it's kind of funny. Did you take anything away from the post credit scene or the mid credit scene, whatever, where Harold gets cash? He gets money. Remember, like they're all.
Oh, I guess like to the horse place. Not the horse, but like the bowling, the barn or whatever it is.
It was just in a driveway, wasn't it? Like they were just at a house.
Oh, maybe I didn't watch this. I don't know.
Oh no, you couldn't have missed it. It happened like immediately, like the final shot.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I thought that was in like a big warehouse or barn or something. No,
I don't think
so. It was
I think it's in a driveway, just in a neighborhood. Unless
it was like another guy giving him money or something. Or like,
I assume it was just the payday for killing Dickie.
oh, I don't know.
It was a weird choice. I don't know why it was there.
Oh, is there gonna be like? Wasn't there speculation of a follow up to this, or not?
Well, it's more than speculation.
Okay.
I was gonna. I have it literally written here, so I'm glad you brought it up. One of the execs at HBO Max was quoted, literally said, "We are talking to David about doing a prequel series."
Well, that might make sense of like if Tony. Oh yeah. I remember talking about this. Like if Tony, thinks like that guy killed Dickie, then in the next film, like the whole thing would be Tony trying to get revenge by killing that guy.
Oh, that's a logical place to go. Yeah. So, but I don't want another. I want to ask how you felt about, or how you feel about it. Potential follow up to this, because I don't want another film. I don't want that at all. Like, if they're going to follow it up, do it. If what they're talking about, if David Chase wants to do it, do a show. 100%. I'm on board. You get Michael Gandolfi, have him actually be the lead. Have him actually be the lead. Commit to it, and have a show. Like I think that'd be cool. I'd be down.
Oh yeah, that would be better. Yeah, I don't know if I'd even be interested if there was another film. Like maybe, but yeah.
Like I'd watch it, but I wouldn't be excited. Yeah, no, I'd totally be down for another show. I think that'd be cool. I wouldn't expect like great things from it necessarily, but I just think this movie taught me that Sopranos as a universe belongs on television, in my opinion. And if they're going to do that again, I think that sounds cool. Get some of these cast members back. Get like Vera back. Get the junior guy back. That sounds cool. Because they were all some of the strongest parts of the movie. I don't know if you knew this. I had trivia here. It didn't really come up, but the film's title comes from Dickie Moltisanti's family name, which when translated from Italian to English means many saints. So it's saying like it's the Moltisantis of Newark.
Right.
I actually kind of like that. That makes a bit more sense. And Alessandro Nivola, who plays Dickie, the lead, didn't realise that he was playing the lead role until filming had already begun. He was only given portions of the script beforehand. Imagine just finding out, oh, by the way, dude, you're the lead. You're on the poster.
That's crazy.
It's kind of messed up. What should we do? Because I actually do sort of want to spoil the show a little bit. I feel like we should do you want to give our scores and then I'll quickly spoil the show?
Okay. Well, I'll give it a 5 out of 10. Like, I enjoyed parts of it. Overall, it's pretty underwhelming. Yeah, but like, I did enjoy parts of it, so.
I'm right there with you. 5 out of 10 from me too. Overall, disappointing in the sense of this has been one of my most anticipated movies for a couple years, but it was fine. I enjoyed aspects of it. Like I said, I think it's an amusing watch. If you're a Sopranos fan, you should definitely check it out. There's enough to get you sort of entertained and, for you to point at the screen and go, oh, that's funny, that's a cool reference or whatever, but it doesn't stand on its own. If you've never seen the show, don't watch this movie. It won't do anything for you. But watch the show. Absolutely watch the goddamn show. Are you kidding me? I might just cut this out if this doesn't end up adding anything to the conversation, but I did want to spoil the show just quickly in terms of the narration at the start. The choice to have David Christopher narrate the movie was just such a weird choice. He has the line
Oh, yeah.
Where he says, you know, when he's like introducing Dickie and Tony, he's like, and that fat kid right there is my Uncle Tony, and he says, he killed me, but that would be many years later.
He doesn't just say that. He says, like, doesn't he specifically say how he killed him?
Yes, yeah,
He
you're
says,
right.
and that's the guy that strangled me in a car accident. 50 years later. It's like, oh my god, thank God, thank God, Jane didn't watch this movie, right?
Absolutely. That's probably. I mean, would you agree that's probably the second biggest spoiler in the show? Arguably the biggest.
Well, I was spoiled for Christopher's death, yeah.
That's the.
But I didn't know when it happened, or yeah.
It's one of the biggest spoilers in the entire show, no doubt.
It's probably the biggest, right? I guess.
I would argue the ending's a bigger spoiler, but but it's harder to explain. Like, you can't just say it. You can't just say Christopher dies. You know what I mean? But you can't really explain the ending in that way. The ending, I wouldn't want that spoiled for me either. But It's harder to spoil, if that makes sense.
Yeah, because it's semi-ambiguous. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. So that was honestly, like, that might be worst line of dialogue of the year. Can we get a Cinema Effect award for that? That'd be great.
We should.
And actually, it's funny, all the bad lines are related to Christopher somehow. There's the other one I had to bring up was when, the scene where I think it's Johnny's coming back party from prison, and like they're having the family get together around the table, and they bring in baby Christopher, and Tony gets up, and they're like, "Oh, the baby doesn't like you."
The baby.
I wonder why.
Oh, that's so bad. That was so bad.
It was so bad. And then it was something like
then Tony's like, "Oh, I haven't done anything yet. I haven't done anything." I was something like that.
It's like, I didn't do anything. Yeah, and then and I think like the mum or someone says, "Baby Christopher can sense evil things."
Oh yes.
Oh no, it was like, sometimes baby can sense things from the other side.
Yeah. And that's why he can speak. He's like a ghost.
That's so bad. That's honestly terrible. Like, if you like, and it doesn't make any sense either. Like, the whole bond in the show, the thing that makes in the show Tony killing Christopher so fucked up and emotional is that Tony loves Christopher and Christopher loves Tony. You know what I mean? Or Tony sort of doesn't love Christopher as much towards the end, but like, that's their relationship from the beginning, is that bond they have. I think it'd be much more tragic if you just change the scene to have it like baby Christopher really loves Tony. Oh, Tony, do you want to hold him? Yeah. And then just immediately makes it even more tragic that, oh, dude, he's like cuddling this baby that he kills. Like, that's messed up.
Yeah, you don't have to hint to it like that. Yeah.
No, you really don't. I feel sort of weird that I just sort of regressed to the end. That's it for this week's episode of Cinema Effect. What a short episode, but that's fine. That's fun. But we do have a question of the week. As always, we'd love you to submit your questions, thoughts, reviews for anything in the YouTube comment section. Send us a DM on Instagram or join the Discord. This week, we're getting pumped up for next week, Fitzy. It's next week. Don't get me wrong. It's next week. Where we're doing our Cinema Effect Awards for 2021, which is incredibly exciting. I'm actually pretty excited to do that. But we're asking you, in the spirit of that, what have been your favourite movies or TV shows of 2021? Answer the question however you want. If you've got multiple things you want to shout out, shout them out. If you want to pick one movie, one show, if you've only seen a movie, whatever. Just answer it however you like. But we're going to be celebrating the best of 2021 next week. So it's all in the spirit of that. And let us know. Listen to the episode to hear what we thought was good this year. At the time of recording this episode, I still need to watch a lot of stuff. There's still stuff to come out too, so we got work to do. I don't know how to divide my time with it too. I'm sort of like, do I watch Red Notice? Do I watch some of these things? Because there are some things coming to Netflix that I feel like I should watch for the 2021 conversation, but then I don't know. Well, I'll figure it out. And that's the end of this week's episode. I feel like I've said that 8 times, so I'm just going to end this. I appreciate you joining me on this late night, Fitzy. It's only 8:30. I appreciate everyone else tuning in, and we'll see you all next time. Have a great rest of your week, and goodbye.